next we will review solving systems of equations by the substitution method. So in number 34, we have x squared minus 4x plus y equals 0 and x minus y equals 0. So the easiest equation to work with would be the second one, and we can easily add y to the other side to get x equals y. Or if you want to look at it, y equals x. So then we can take this x and use it to replace the y in the first equation to get x squared minus 4x plus x equals 0, or x squared minus 3x equals 0. Now to solve for 0, we simply just need to factor out an x to get x minus 3 equals 0. And then we have two solutions, x equals 3 and x equals 0. Because we have two solutions for x, we're also going to have two solutions for y. And remember, we write these solutions as coordinates. So to find the solution for y, we simply need to just take x and plug it in. So we have x equals y, so 3 equals y, and x equals y, so 0 equals y. So our two solutions are 3, 3, and 0, 0. For 35, we also need to use substitution, and luckily we already have y isolated in both equations. So the only thing we need to do is set them equal to each other. So we have 6x cubed plus x squared minus 4x equals x squared plus 2x. And to solve, we will just set the equation equal to 0. So we have 6x cubed, the x squareds will cancel, minus 6x equals 0. And then we can factor out a 6x. So we have 6x times x squared minus 1. And then we can factor more. So we have 6x times x minus 1 times x plus 1 equals 0. So our three solutions will be x equals 0, x equals 1, and x equals negative 1. Again, since we have three solutions for x, we're going to have three solutions for y. So if I plug 0 in first, I have y equals 0 squared plus 2 times 0, which is 0. If I plug a 1 in for x, I'm using the second equation, I'll have 1 squared, which is 1, plus 2 times 1, and 1 plus 2 is 3. And if I plug in a negative 1, I will have negative 1 squared, which is 1, and then 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So my three solutions are 0, 0, 1, 3, and negative 1, negative 1. For problem 36, we're going to solve using the elimination method. So in the first problem, problem A, we have a y that does not have a coefficient in front of it, so it looks like he'll be the easiest to eliminate. So I'm going to multiply that equation by a negative 5 to eliminate him with the other y. So we'll get negative 35x minus 5y equals negative 15. And now we're ready to add our equations together. So we end up with negative 14x equals negative 4. When we divide by negative 14, we get x equals 2/7. So now we're going to take 2/7 and plug it in for x. So we have, 7 times 2/7 plus y equals 3. So 2 plus y equals 3 and y equals 1. So our answer is 2/7, comma 1. For B, it looks like that the x's would be easiest to eliminate if we multiplied by a -2. So we get -6x minus 4y equals -16. And both the x's and the y's cancel out, so we get a 0 equals -6. And whenever we have 0 equals another number, we have no solution. For problem C, we start off with an equation that has some fractions in it. So to get rid of the fractions, we can multiply by the denominator, which is 2. So that will give us 9x minus 12y equals 3. And then we can multiply the top equation. Let's see, maybe easier to get the x's to be the same. So we can multiply the top equation by a -3 to make a -18x, and the bottom equation by a 2 to make an 18x. So we have -18x plus 24y equals -6, and we have 18x minus 24y equals 6. So at this point, we know that we are going to have infinitely many solutions since the lines are the same. Because of this, we need to make a point generator. So to make our point generator, what we do first is we look and see which variable would be easiest to isolate. In this case, it really doesn't matter. Each variable is has the same amount of difficulty. So I am going to isolate x. So if we isolate x, we get 18x equals 24y plus 6. And if I divide by 18, I have x equals 24 over 18 would reduce to 4/3 y plus 1/3. And now we want to always let the variable on the right side of the equation equal a. So if we let y equal a, then we know that x equals 4/3 a plus 1/3. So our answer for this will be 4/3 a plus 1/3, comma a. If you prefer, you can multiply everybody by 3. So our final answer would be 4a plus 1, comma 3a. But either answer would work.